everyone! So let's begin. Today we will be making some dinner rolls. Some Italian dinner rolls and with a lot of seasoning and flavor and also cheese. So now that you're ready to begin, we will talk about the ingredients. And before I do that, I also want to tell you that this is a recipe for almost anybody who is on low carb diet. So whether you're being on keto or something like Poon Diet that I'm following personally, either way it's gonna work for you. I'm right now on Poon Diet phase 2, but I'll make sure that the recipe is suitable for phase 1 as well. So before we start, let's look at the ingredients. So for our ingredients, I have a lot of seasonings. I have some Italian seasoning, some red chili flakes, and most important, half salt. So we're doing half salt because we want to go low sodium. And what else do we have? So we have some baking powder and some garlic. So just basic things you will have in your pantry. If you don't, go buy them. So these are some essentials, so you might need them. And let's go to the cheese. So for the cheese, that's the first difference or first substitute that I'll talk about. So for the people on keto, you have to eat fat. So basically eat any kind of cheese and whatever you like. You know what cheese is good for you or whatever you enjoy. So bring some mozzarella, parmesan, cheddar, whatever. And everybody on Poon Diet, we can do high carb, we can do high fat. So we'll try Allegro cheese. If you're in Poon, you already know about Allegro cheese. It's something that's pretty famous for us, so let's use that. Grate your cheese, and you will also need 2 eggs. Now that we have our cheese, another thing that all of us can actually use here is some cream cheese. Now, I know we don't want a lot of fat for Poon Diet, but don't you worry, because remember that on your diet chart, we are allowed 1 tablespoon of cream cheese as a snack. And that's pretty much what I'm going to be using for the whole recipe, so you're good for that. And the last thing I'm using is unsalted butter, again low sodium, and some minced garlic. So once that we have everything here, let's talk about the most important ingredient, which is our flour. Now for our flour, we have 2 options. So we have Carbquik and we have almond flour. If you are on keto, you already know about almond flour and all the different things you can do with it. So you might even have it in your pantry, and that's something you can use. If you're on Poon, I will suggest using Carbquik. It only has 1 net carb, while almond flour can have 2 net carbs. So Carbquik is okay for all of us here, whether being keto or Poon Diet. We all can use Carbquik, so that's amazing. But if you're on phase 2 of Poon Diet, you might be able to use almond flour too. And anybody on keto, use almond flour if you want. Either way, I'll be using the mix of both, or maybe just Carbquik. We'll decide that later. But except that, I think those are all my ingredients for now. So I'm going to start preparing, and I'll be back soon. So first step, put your cheese in here. You can use as much you like. I'm using about a cup. Then take your cream cheese, I'm using Philadelphia here, and add it. And then give it a good mix. And if you want, you can add the eggs right now too. So I'll go ahead and add 2 eggs in here too. And once I finish mixing, I'll be back. So I'm back. So what I did is I added the cheese, the cream cheese, and 2 eggs. And once giving it a good mix, I will put it in the microwave for about 30 to 40 seconds until it's completely melted. So I'll be back. So after finally melting it, it'll cool down, and before it gets lumpy, we'll start the next part. So now that everything is in here, I will be adding about a teaspoon of baking soda or baking powder. I'm using baking powder here. Then you can add the Italian seasoning, the chili flakes, and your salt to taste. Alright. So I added the chili flakes, the salt, and also the Italian seasoning. The next part is to choose the flavor. We can go with the almond flavor or the Carbquik or the mix of two. I would go with the Carbquik today. And basically you need 1 cup of Carbquik. Put it in here, mix it well, and I shall be back. So let's add the Carbquik now. Let's add 2 of these and then give it a mix. So now the next step is to take some butter. So as you can see, I'm only using like this much butter. So you can put some butter in, put the garlic, and I have some seasoning here. So it's just Italian seasoning and some chili flakes. Add it all in here. And you're gonna throw this whole in the microwave until it melts. Next, I just made a little roll out of the whole dough. And remember to space it out because it has baking soda or baking powder and it's going to like expand a bit. So I was able to make 5. You can make like smaller rolls and maybe more of them. But either way, that's how you're going to plate it on the baking tray. And I'm waiting for my butter to heat up again. We're going to spread the butter on this and then bake it. So we have the heated butter and seasoning and garlic here. Now, unfortunately, I can't find my pastry brush, so I'll have to use a spoon. Basically, the idea is to spread it on top of these a little bit. Yeah, spread it nicely on all over all these balls, and then we will bake it. We are ready to bake now. I have added the spread. What I'm trying to do now is basically add a little bit more cheese on top. And who doesn't like cheese? Just a bit of cheese here and there. You can use any cheese you want. I'm using cheddar, but whatever cheese you like. Even some Parmesan, like a sprinkle of Parmesan would be really nice too. So once you have your cheese on top and it's completely and nicely covered with the butter and seasonings, we will bake it. We'll bake it for either 350 or 450 degrees Celsius until it's baked. I think I'm gonna bake it for 450 degrees Celsius for some time, and you will know when they're ready. The last but the most important step, clean all of this before your mom comes down. And voila, it's ready. So it's baked and even the cheese has melted. That black thing over there, right, that's just some burnt garlic. It's fine, except that it's pretty good. So of course you can't eat everything today, but whenever you do, just like bake it a little in a little oven or just a big one, doesn't matter. And yeah, just reheat it. It's pretty good. See, we have a whole real bun. Who said you can't have bread or buns on keto or low carb? Thanks for watching, guys. And if I may suggest, then with the buns, you can either have some garlic aioli or some just like some pasta sauce. So these are some of the 2 options which has the least amount of calories. I got both of them from ONS, and all the Walden Farm sauces are pretty good for any low calorie diet or low carb diet. In order to store them, I put them in like some sandwich bags, and then you can put it in like a big bag just to have them all together, or you can put it in a sealed container. Either way, it's gonna be good. The idea is that they're sealed, and whenever you want them, just take them out and reheat it. Thanks for watching, guys.